said 4 minutes, and then it just as soon as 11 came, it just reset. Like,
Yo,
fuck.
I hate to bust your bubble, but I saw a top streamer playing the game already.
I'm good.
Fuck
I'm not
early
watching anything.
access, dude. I don't know why that bothers me when streamers get early codes, right?
If I get to a point where I can get the early access, you best believe
give me the
I'm
fucking
getting
early
that shit,
code.
like,
Don't get me wrong, I'll take an early code, but like it kind of burns me when people get early codes, because that fundamentally
for a single player game, it doesn't matter.
No, not even like, to me, it's not even about the game. Right, to me, it's not even about being able to play the game early, because you can go to a mom and pop and buy the shit early. Yeah, if you live in the right state, right? Like, to me, it's not about access to the game. To me, it's more about that it just goes against like content creation, because now you're giving that top streamer more exposure. They don't need exposure. They already have exposure. They care about
people seeing.
I know they don't. They want people to see it, exactly, which is why they give it to them. But why can't they give it to them like a day before? Not even. That's like, I don't know. It seems to, because they're going to get exposure regardless. People already have in their mind that they're going to watch so-and-so streamer play this game to decide whether or not they're going to buy it, or just to watch them play it because they can't play it once it releases.
Yeah, but pre-orders look better to shareholders than people buying it a week later. After they watch,
then what's the point of giving somebody like a day? Someone started streaming Returnal today in the afternoon. Because he had early access, and he's a top streamer. I'm not gonna say who it is, because I don't. Well,
one day. Well, the game comes out today. Like
exactly.
Tonight.
That's not gonna make a difference between pre-orders.
One day is fine. Like,
why not drop a few codes? Because I'll tell you right now, why not drop a few codes to some relatively like mid-level streamers? Because they're gonna actually benefit from that. They're gonna get more exposure because they're streaming the game, and people are gonna flock to their streams.
But what's in it?
They still get the same exposure.
Nah, you're not gonna get.
People are gonna flock to a top streamer.
A person that has 15K. As opposed to somebody that has less than that, you're not going to get the same amount of exposure.
No, and here I'll tell you, I'm sorry, but here's why I disagree. Because at that point, people don't care about the streamer. People care about the game. People are searching Returnal. People are browsing Returnal.
Of course, that's what I'm saying. They don't care, because what's in it for the company? What's in it for Sony? Like, nothing.
They get the press. They just get people. They just get eyes on the game, which is more eyes on the game is more people watching the game. But I'm saying that you're gonna have those eyes regardless. So why not give those codes? I mean, you could give them to top streamers. Don't get me wrong. But in addition, give them to some regular streamers out there. Give them to some people. Give them early access code. Give them a fucking code. Give them a fucking code that expires after a day. Here's an extended demo.
Blessed, not just the people at the top that are already blessed.
I understand
that's a perfect world. That's
but
not
like happening. I think that's the problem with like exposure and content creation to begin with, though.
Yeah, it's a loop.
Like, because that shit sets it up.
Or you just sit on the outside and watch.
What if I had Returnal? What if I had an early copy of Returnal? I get banned. Meanwhile, this top streamer streaming his shit. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's all I'm saying. I don't care about getting the game early. What I care about is that exposure as a content creator. If I had Returnal from a mom and pop right now, and I was streaming it at 12 noon today, and that top streamer that was streaming it, guess what? I'm getting banned. You know why? Because
you do get banned. Yeah.
You do get banned.
It depends,
and you know what happens?
It depends on the game and the company. It depends.
And I'm going to expose myself for hating. I'm going to expose myself as a hater right now. When fucking Bloodborne, I pre-ordered that shit digitally, and I had to wait for that midnight countdown, and I saw so many motherfuckers streaming that shit during the day, I was legit reporting each stream.
Yo, I'm not going to lie.
I was hating, bro.
I don't remember what game it was. I was doing the same shit. I'm not gonna lie. I forgot what game it was. Oh man, it's probably been so many that I probably do that shit all the time.
I was reporting every fucking stream, early access, unofficial early access, fucking streaming the game before the release date. I was going.
It was probably a fighting game or something. I was probably tight. I didn't get it early. Like,
I was salty, dude.
I don't remember.
Shit happens.
I've definitely done that. I've definitely done that before.
But that's what I mean. Like that's mostly my point. Like, I don't care about the game. If I cared about the game, then obviously I'd be salty. I just care more about like the whole aspect of streaming, the whole aspect of content creation, growth, and everything. And like companies could approach it better. They just don't give a shit, because at the end of the day, it's about the bottom dollar, I guess. I mean, they still get eyes on their product, you know.
It's hard, man, because I've always had the issue of looking at it from both sides, right? Like, and I know a lot of people don't, but I always do. Like, I don't know why, but it's like I feel like as Sony, they put out this game that's not even just this game. Let's just say any game, right? Any dev that puts out a new game, they're gonna want as many people advertising it as possible. So at the end of the day, it's like you can't look at it and be like, oh man, these guys are already getting views. Why give it to them so that they get more views? But I mean, what do you do then? Like, they're not gonna give it to someone that has, like, you know, no views or anything like that. They're not gonna give it to a YouTuber that doesn't get any views. They're not gonna give it to a streamer that doesn't get any views.
Yeah.
So why? I don't think you should expect that. I feel like,
I think they should give it to somebody with average views, right? Like, give it to a mid-tier streamer, you know?
Because like you said, the only people that are actually going to be already watching that streamer.
What do they lose? What do they lose giving it to both, though? Because you know what's going to happen?
Think about these old heads in the at the round table thinking about how they're going to make some money and picking who they give their fucking codes to. Think about those.
You know what?
People.
You're right.
Like,
you're right, because that would actually mean having a mindset to benefit someone else and not just yourself. Like, it's a mutual benefit, not just hey, we're just gonna benefit.
Right? That gave the main man and some random ass other UK streamers early access to season 4, right? Yeah, but they didn't give it to Rip. Exactly. Think about that. Think about, like, the people playing favorites at the round table. Like, come on, man. Well, Rip has probably done more for the scene than Main Man has ever done. But Main Man got more YouTube subs. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? That's just how it is.
Rip actually commentated Tekken tournaments, multiple official Tekken run, Bandai Namco run tournaments.
Rip has literally held up the Tekken Tag 2 scene, like, with him and like 3 other people. When Tekken was supposed to be dead. And they gave early
access to the season update to Main Man and not Rip.
Like, hey, cool.
How many tournaments has Main Man commentated?
I don't know, man. I don't even think it's not even about the commentary for me. It's about Rip has literally, like, done stuff, like, not even on the outside, like, just running tournaments, fucking keeping. Look, Tekken wasn't always what it is right now with Tekken 7. Like, people think that this is like, oh man, Tekken's always been hype. No, Tekken Tag 2 and Tekken 6 were not. People didn't care about them shits that much. But you had people like Rip, Ricksta, like, and fucking, like, even Eris and stuff holding that community up, right? From the sidelines, like. But then you got the Main Man who's just benefiting off of, he got some, he been doing Kazuya combo videos for 10 years, and now he finally blows up, right? He I'm sorry, like, I respect him for doing what he does, but this guy Main Man offers like nothing to the actual Tekken community, bro. as himself, he offers absolutely nothing.
He only offers things as personal stream.
Well, I kind of would argue is that they don't care about the Tekken community. They care about
exactly. That's the point I was trying to make before. Sony doesn't give a fuck about. Like,
definitely point taken, right?
Like these motherfuckers.
But like, that's like why I think they're wrong, and I'm not saying that you're wrong, because it's like, hey man, that's a business model. What I think is they're wrong is if you authentically grow the community, you're ultimately growing your fan base.
Yep.
And in doing things that can grow your community, you also grow your fan base, and everyone gets like mutual gain out of it, right? Like, Rip would get mutual gain out of having the same access as Main Man did, and people would definitely move over to Rip's stream instead, because he's more informative. He's a Tekken commentator. But no, they gave access to Main Man. They like legitimately they actually shit on him. I don't know why he's still
they see numbers. And
I don't see why he's still supporting Tekken at this point in time, because that might be something that might actually turn me around on something. I'll be like, you know what? I'm just gonna have my success as a content creator.
He just loves the game.
I know he's just doing it. He's doing it out of love. I feel like,
Like, why
and
do you
that
think
sucks. Ultimately,
the majority of people just move on to content creation instead of actually giving a fuck about being a top player or a relevant person in the actual scene. In most of these games, they don't, like, you don't get rewarded for doing any of that shit. You don't get rewarded for putting a gaming community on your back, literally, like, because all it takes is someone more I don't even want to say more entertaining, because all main man does is whine and complain. So it's like, I don't know, man. I guess people like watching people whine and complain.
Man, you do it for the love. Of course, people like watching people whine and complain. You know why? You know why people like watching people whine and complain? Because it's hilarious. Because then you get sound bites like this.
I'm fucking addicted, so I can't quit.
Yeah, like the main man, like it's funny because I used to watch him because I used to like watching his gameplay. I don't like watching him. Like he's as a person just yikes. Yeah.
So are you
the love of the game.
This YouTube? Can you just shut up?